This is how it looked before, basically my relationship to a diet. And then see after, when I have all my hopes and dreams to achieve someday. Hey there my human stars, welcome back to the channel, and in today's tutorial I will be showing you how to darn your sock, and you're pretty much just repairing it with a darning stitch. And get this, a darning egg, because if you look here, I've showed you how to repair your sock with contrasting thread, but I have yet to show you with a darning egg that I have finally invested on, which is only $8. Only $8, and it has taken me like a whole year to just buy it. Anyways, before we dive into this tutorial, I want to tell you that Isa is having a Do Brew event. It's one of their biggest events yet, and it has to do with clothing swap, DIYs, upcycling. It's one of their biggest yet, and they're focused on this sustainable fashion, so I would love to see you there. It's here in Brooklyn. Where to buy your ticket and more information is in the description below, so click there. I need a glass of water after talking so much to be full, like real with you. I'm gonna go get one right now, baby. I'm running. Oh, by the way, write in the comments below why you're repairing your sock. Like, is it because it's your favorite sock, because it was super mad expensive, and you're like, I am gonna spend $20 again on this sock? So let me know. Or you just want to learn how to darn and then want to use this technique in other clothing. Let me get started. Basically, you insert the darning egg right inside your sock, exactly where you have the hole, and then we're going to create a checker-like pattern. So basically, we're going to create a horizontal line going up and down, and pretty much you just do this all in between. What I like to do first is actually just like start sewing through the fabric first, so it's nice and reinforced. You don't want it to start to like ravel out later on the more you use it. So if you can start sewing about like doing a few running stitches like a centimeter away from the hole, that's a good start. And then you can start creating the the horizontal lines, and it's pretty much an up and down loop. So you're creating this loop all throughout the egg. Yeah, just pretty much create the first line, so you can start weaving in and weaving in and weaving out, weaving in and weaving out, and like trying to like just figure out and take your time, because this is like pretty much just like reading. This is like reading a alphabet soup. You are pretty much just eating your nice alphabet soup and trying to spell out letters as you find your letters. And so I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. I'm just pretty much trying to fill up the time, to be honest. But as you can see, I have inserted on the top. I started to run out, so then when you start running out, you just do your last stitch and then knot it and refill your needle. By the way, I'm using a darning needle. The exact size of this needle is in the description below. And then I'm also using embroidery thread. You can use regular thread, but like regular thread is way too thin, so I recommend that you use an embroidery thread with 3 strands. An embroidery thread comes with 6 strands. Strand is almost like that thin little thread that you see, and so they put 6 together. That's what makes it so thick, and I just like to separate it and use 3. And if you're wondering about like the spacing between the loops, I say not too far from each loop, but not too close, because then I've noticed that period Maria's here. I've noticed that if I create the loop way too close to it, then I start to get confused and not like sew it correctly. Like you'll see, like once you start trying to weave in and out the next line of thread, it's easy to just like confuse one line with the other. So if you can just have a nice separation, like you see here in the video, I have them close but not far. It's a matter of perception. That's why I love that I've made this tutorial, to be honest, because before I would read DIY darnings, and the pictures would make it look so perfect, and it's not perfect. It's, you learn as you go, and if you notice that it's too far, then you're like, okay, cool, I'll just like run another thread in between and then make it tighter. So you just pretty much figure it out. But I didn't even tell you what I did next. So the next step, once you have your loops going horizontally, is that then you go the opposite direction. It's a checker box. You're weaving, so you want it to go in and out, in and out. And so that's what I'm doing next. And this is actually the fastest part, because the part that you want to get correct is the first lines. This is like me trying to make it magical. Voila! Woo! That was so fast. But what I predominantly wanted to show you in this tutorial is that you're seeing how I am inserting the needle in and out. I'm showing you pretty much just the movement of what you have to do and how you have to lift one thread and then go underneath and then on top, underneath and then on top, underneath and then on top. And you may see that you find yourself, maybe the first time you try this tutorial, it might even take you an hour. It might take you 2 hours. I remember the first time I ever learned how to darn, the size of this hole took, maybe even smaller, it took me 4 hours. 4 freaking hours. My eyes were so tired. I did it at night. Don't do it at night. The best time to darn or embroider or sew is daylight, unless you have a really nice night lamp. If you do, so lucky, so lucky. I don't, so that's why I have to do that during the day. I made the mistake the first time as an amateur to darn at night, and my eyes were so tired. You know when you feel like sleep drunk and you just have to shut your eyes, and that's it, you have automatically shut yourself down. You're so shut down that it's like your phone, when it runs out of battery, that it completely just goes, and you just remember what you did the last time you close your eyes, and you're like, yeah, I was just hungover from darning. It's a thing. It can totally be a thing. I don't know if it's a thing, but there, done. And this will be the outcome. The tension is pretty tight, and this is from using the darning egg. That's why I love using it. If you've seen my previous tutorials, before I wasn't using an embroidering egg, because there are other options. You can use a hoop to stretch your fabric. You can use the lid of a candle. There's many different options, but as you can see, this is one of the best results I've ever gotten, and that's because I used the darning egg, and it really does make a difference. And you know, this area of the sock is a very popular area where you get holes. I don't know if you've noticed, I've noticed from mending so many holes, but that area, or like where your toes are, like especially the big toe, that tends to be the area that gets the most holes. And this is how it looks on the inside. I turned the sock around so you can see how it looks on the inside. So your front and back should look the same. And it looks so nice. Do you see the texture? I wish you could touch it. You're gonna get these same results. DM me pictures on Instagram, so make sure to follow me on Instagram. But voila. Comments if you like this lighting. It's nighttime. You're so right. Can you tell me a joke? I want a funny joke. Do you know a darning joke?